up with my man Sekou? What's
Hey,
going
dogs. What is up? What a week, man. We've been doing crazy.
Yeah.
I'm pressed back-to-back appointments, and I know you are too. So let's
Yeah,
hit
man,
it, baby.
man, everything's been back to back. We were showing you the numbers that we've been putting up at other places too. We've been hitting some record-setting numbers on some of these videos we've been putting up. So, it's great to follow a system, is all I got to say, right? When
Systematize
you
your
follow
creativity.
a system and a process, shit begins to work, right? But that's the thing. When you follow a system and a process, then you follow it consistently, then it keeps building and building. It's just like the business, right? You keep doing the right things in the right order, all of a sudden your business tends to grow. I mean, why didn't you know that?
How
Yeah.
odd? How
Yeah,
odd is that? But if you
odd?
put in the bathrooms before you put the foundation in, all you're gonna do is just ruin a good bathroom, right?
Right.
You're building a building and you do it in the wrong order, it just looks like a mess, baby. That's it. You can have the best bathroom in the world that you put in too early.
See, this is why I love getting on with Sekou. You never know what you're going to talk about. We're on here talking about content and calm. We're talking about bathrooms. Like you just never know what you're going to get. Right.
It's all the same.
Yeah,
dude. So what are we on? What's on the agenda for today?
What's on the agenda? That's a great question. I'm running off of what we were talking about yesterday because I hopped on. I don't know if you knew this. I was on your show for like a good hour yesterday.
Yes. Yo, dude, I appreciate it too, man.
Yeah, man. I hopped on. I'm like, all right, I just got off a run. I'm like, I got a couple minutes. Boom. Next thing I know, I'm chatting it up with you for about an hour. So,
it's like 6 agents on there with us, man. We were sitting there talking.
So there was a topic that we discussed yesterday that I want to go more in depth here with you. The social CRM. So the question we get asked, and I get asked all the time because, we deal with more social media, all these different things, is how much time should I be spending on social media? So when we talk about the social CRM, so Sekou, let me ask you this. When I say social CRM, what does that mean to you?
So I always imagine agents are thinking about how much money they have to spend on the top of the line CRM. Right. The follow-up boss, the this one, the that, and the other thing.
Right.
When you mention social CRM, I'm smacking myself in the forehead because I'm like, the biggest, simplest, and least expensive CRM on the planet is your social media.
Yeah.
So that's what comes to my mind when you say the social CRM. It's your social media.
Right, because like, what do we do with CRMs? We use them so we can hit people where they're at, right? Because we're thinking we're going to send them text messages, we're going to send them emails, we're going to do this and that. Where do people spend the most time?
Social media.
Here on social media, right? Like, this is where we spend the most amount of time. So when I get the question, like, how much time should I spend? Are you spending it on social media or are you spending it on your social CRM? Because there's a huge difference with how you spend your time, right? Like are
you working on social media or are you not working?
10 videos deep on Steve Harvey's Best Family Feud, which happened to me last night. I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, this dude's funny as hell, right? Like, I'm watching Steve Harvey, dude. That Family Feud stuff, you could get drowned in that. But or are you spending it watching videos like this where you're learning more about the industry? Are you spending it messaging people? Are you spending it sending video messages? Because if you think about it, you can do everything you want from Facebook. You can video call. You can call, you can text message, you can send a audio message. You can do all of these things to every single friend member on your list, right? So it's literally a CRM where you could be reaching out to people every single day. You could be wishing them congratulations because they just bought a new car, right? Making sure that you get on there and you do these things. So it's not about how much time you spend. It's about what you're doing with the time while you're on here.
It's perfect, man. That is perfect. And so if you are the CEO of your company, as I wish all these agents that are watching this are, right? If you're the CEO of your company, you're looking for ways. You are looking for how many different ways can I reach my people? You're looking for how much more can I squeeze out of a minute of the day, et cetera. And you're obsessed with your business. So when you're working on your social CRM, it provides you with an opportunity where you can learn and teach and share your resources all at the same time. And so I don't know, man, as a tool, I would say that is probably one of the most powerful tools in the 21st century is the social CRM.
Well, and I think it's about getting out of this mindset of social media as being like this time sucker, as social media being this thing that it's just, yeah, I'll get on there. It's cool. You know, I see some other people doing it. Like it's changing your mindset to understand this is some people's entire leg of their business. Some people sell hundreds of homes a year just on social media. Like this is not a, I'll get to that. You know, it looks cool. It's a shiny object. No. This should be a leg of the business, right? This should be something that you are seriously looking at as how can I get more business from my social media, right? You have deals sitting here. It's just how
no. There are deals
right
in your friends list right now. There's about maybe 50 grand worth of deals in your friends list right now. Right. And 99.95% of us are not even taking advantage of it. I was having a conversation today and it was off the cuff and it wasn't about this, but it made me realize something, right? So we were talking about, I was talking to a younger person,
right,
who was talking about how none of her friends are on Facebook. And I was like, what? And so like we were talking, we were trying to brainstorm and figure out how to grow her database. But then I was like, wait a minute, none of your friends are on Facebook? She's like, no, everybody's on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all of my friends are on Facebook. Right. And so then I asked my daughter, I'm like, well, where are your friends? She's like, yeah, all of my friends are on IG.
Right.
And I'm like, but all of my friends are on Facebook. And so you can actually like tailor, custom make your audience based on the platform that you're on. And the mindset of the agent that says, well, I don't want to waste time on Facebook because it's kid stuff.
Yeah.
There are no kids on Facebook.
There are no kids on Facebook. That's a fact. So this is where, Sekou, what is the one thing I always say? Where do you start when you start creating your content?
You gotta build your audience. You gotta know who you're talking to.
You gotta know what audience that you're speaking to, right? Your content that you're making for Facebook, social, like Instagram, all these places, it's a little bit different on each platform, right? So that's where it's knowing who your audience is, it's figuring out what do they like to see, what do they like to do, and also understanding that your audience is spread out,
like
just like you said, like a lot of people are on Facebook, a lot of people are on Instagram, a lot of people are on Twitter, like these different places. But it's where are you spending time? Where are you investing your time and energy to get results? So you think about this, you can message people on Instagram, you can video message people on Instagram, you can call people out, like you can do all these things. Like I'm saying Facebook just for this example, because we're on Facebook.
Right.
You can do these things on all these different platforms. You can message people on YouTube. Like you can do these things. Like if you start looking at these places differently and start understanding these are CRMs for you to get in contact with people, message them, and stop thinking about it as like a time sucker or I'll do this if it's fun. Like I get it. It can be fun. It can be these things, but this is a serious leg in the business. How do I know this? Because we built our business through this. We've literally got into 50 states, Puerto Rico, Canada, and we're expanding through these amazing platforms because we're looking at them as a CRM, as a connector, not as a place where I'm just going to go waste my time.
Well, I just hope that wherever you guys are expanding to, you don't get too much flack for being Cavalier fans, right? So,
well, look, I'm actually now that like my computer's in my shot, I'm like revamping like the way my computer's gonna look.
That looks good, man.
Well, Vina, where are we at? She'll stay forever. The mother.
I hear that
forever.
So listen, man, I have been talking to agents a lot about their being serious about growing their content business, being serious about merging their call business with their contact business and content business and how to make this thing a machine that cranks out. And what my advice has been to them is to get out of the way and let people who really know what they're doing do it. Right. So there's a bunch of stuff that you can do on your own to get the business started, to start momentum. I strongly suggest that, you reach out and you do the boot camp and you talk to Nick. And when you get your momentum going and you begin to know your audience and you begin to build a head of steam, I'm going to go ahead and suggest that you hire him. You hire them to to grow the business that you started, right? So you can still say I did this, but then you begin to say we did this, and that we did this model is where all the companies that are at the top of the chart have come from.
Well, in the first place, we started Sekou Creme, baby. That's where you got to start.
Baby.
Like
There you go.
Here's what we'll say. In this, I believe I say consistent actions get consistent results. But the thing is, you got to know where you're spending your time at. You got to know that, like, to me, like, if I'm going to do a process, I've been there where I try and, like, force my own path, right? Like, I'm going to do this my own way. You know what's getting in the way there? Ego. Like, I don't need this course. I can figure it all out myself. Why? My real question is why? Right? When you really break it down, the only reason we all don't think we need a coach, that we don't think we need other courses and classes, is egos getting in the way, right? Like everybody needs a coach. You look at the top paid athletes in the world all have multiple coaches, right? You think LeBron don't have a coach? You think MJ didn't have a coach? You think all these people? Yeah, they got like 5, 6. They got a coach for each section of their life. They got a coach for their diets on Mondays. They got a coach. I don't know about that, but
yeah, let's do this. Let's do this really quickly, right? Because I know we got stuff to do, right? But watch this. Let's say you don't really need a coach. Let's just say that you are that badass that you don't really need a coach.
Right.
Your sales could depend on how much you are investing in your business. And if you were to tell a seller or a buyer, you know what? I work with coaches. I work with the best coaches in the country every single week in order to bring you the best service that you could possibly have. Think about how many more transactions you'll do just from that as a mindset.
Right.
Listen, I'm not going to keep beating you guys up about this. SekouCreme.com is the cutting edge. It is the future of real estate. It is the future of your business development. And you're a lunatic if you haven't clicked on that link already.
Yeah, go ahead and check us out. Sekou, it's always a pleasure, my man. Always a pleasure. You can catch us here on Thursdays. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.